Last week, when Beto O'Rourke launched his 2020 campaign, I found it sort of odd that he wouldn't release his first day fundraising record after claiming that he would do so. But after several days, he did in fact release the number, and it's impressive. So this from Politico. Former Texas Representative Beto O'Rourke raised $6.1 million in the first 24 hours after launching his presidential campaign, crushing the first day hauls of many of his Democratic competitors. Now, this number on its own is incredibly impressive, but there's a problem. He's released no other details. He hasn't discussed how many people have donated to him, how many individual donors this amounted to. He hasn't released the average donation number, and he hasn't released how many people maxed out the donation limit. So, what this tells you here is, look, if all you care about for some reason is the amount of money a candidate has, then this is a great number. But if you care about what these candidates actually stand for, and if you can trust them, to fight for you as the average American, without releasing any of these other details, I mean, Beto O'Rourke has a fundamentally dishonest campaign. So to help you understand this a little bit better, when Kamala Harris announced her first day fundraising record, she raised $1.5 million, which was a great number at the time, from roughly 38,000 individual donors in the first 24 hours, with the average donation being $37, showing you that, at least in Kamala Harris's case, on the first day, the amount of donors that she had and the average donation showcases that she mostly raised money from average Americans. When Bernie announced his first day fundraising record, which, by the way, just like Kamala Harris, they both announced after the actual first day fundraising, not several days later. But when Bernie announced his first day fundraising number, it broke records. $5.9 million from over 223,000 individual donors, and with the donations averaging $27 apiece. So again, showcasing that Bernie has a real grassroots movement of average Americans giving him low-dollar donations. Beto O'Rourke has released none of these numbers. Now, there's also an extra layer here where the number of volunteers. So Bernie has in the first week, he signed up over 1 million volunteers in every district in America. Beto O'Rourke has released no number at all about volunteers. So understand here, let me go a little deeper so you can grasp maybe why Beto O'Rourke is being so vague, just like he's being vague about his policies. So this reporting from back in December, Beto O'Rourke lands big Obama fundraiser. So this big Obama fundraiser was Chicago financier Louis Sussman, who was a finance chair for John Kerry's 2004 campaign and was also an early Barack Obama supporter. Now, this is important because it tells you exactly how Beto is raising all of this money, and it's not from small individual donors. So more reporting here from CNN. Campaign bundlers, such as Sussman and Hirschberg, play a crucial role in presidential campaigns because they can tap their extensive networks of business associates, family, and friends to help collect or bundle the huge sums needed to mount a White House bid that could surpass the $2 billion mark for the party's eventual nominees and the group supporting them. But as CNN analysis shows, O'Rourke has won the attention of some of Obama's biggest financial backers. At least 59 individuals who raised $500,000 or more for Obama's re-election in 2012 donated to O'Rourke's 2018 campaign, CNN's tally finds. That surpasses the number of top bundlers who contributed to the federal fundraising vehicles established in this election cycle by other Democrats who have either declared their 2020 intentions or are pondering bids. So, what this tells you here is that Beto is not raising money from the average American. This is why he's not releasing his numbers, because he absolutely has less individual donors than Bernie Sanders and may even have less individual donors than Kamala Harris. He has these campaign bundlers that raise these huge sums of money that they max out the donation limit from all these wealthy donors to create that $6.1 million figure. But they're not going to tell you the details because it will completely expose that. So Beto O'Rourke has the support of the elites, has the support of wealthy financial backers. And to give you an example of how this has played into Beto O'Rourke's fundraising in the past, all you have to do is look at the top 20 recipients for oil and gas money. And look at that. O'Rourke is number 2 on the list in the top 20 and is the only Democrat in the top 5 and only one of 2 Democrats in the top 20, with Heidi Heitkamp being the other one who eventually lost her race last year. So Beto O'Rourke right now, the only Democrat receiving in the top 20 receiving money from the oil and gas industry. Meanwhile, he's trying to pretend to be strong on climate change. I mean, again, that's just one example. But you also have to look at the way he's changed his language on other issues. He used to support single payer. He was a big supporter of single payer healthcare. And now he's changed his mind. Hasn't explained why. But now he's saying, actually, no, the goal isn't Medicare for all. The goal is just to be have affordable healthcare for all. I mean, this is common sense. This is just obvious. All you have to understand is the context. So don't get distracted by flashy numbers like, $6.1 million. You have to look at the details. Where is the money coming from? What is the average donation? How many individual donors do you have? How many top contributors do you have that are maxing out the donation limit? All of these details create the actual picture of who the candidate is and what they represent. And when you look at all the details, Beto O'Rourke clearly represents the elites.